Welcome, everybody, to the Pizzaghost. We have an extra special episode today, a little bit of an unconventional episode and a first timer. Here we have the drummer of the Hectic Temps, longtime collaborator, longtime friend, uh, Bert, we sometimes call him. He
Yes.
has a long history with Pizzaghost, dating back to old Pizzaghost legacy projects such as Fuma and Sex Presidents. What's
And
going on,
white.
Bert?
Oh wait.
White?
Hey
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an honor to be on. First time, long time. Um, and yeah, as Sam said, we've been doing music stuff for a long time together, and uh, primarily in recent years, it's for the Hectic Temps. I am when it's not drummer, I play the drums
Yeah.
and some of the guitars and
99% of the
stuff,
time.
and
Right.
we'll you know, we do some music stuff together. And yeah, I've been
Yeah.
excited to get on this pizza cast. I've been watching some of your episodes, the conversations you've been having with Mason on AI, and some of the conversations we've been having in chats, like about, well, what constitutes sort of taking inspiration from artists versus ripping them off, uh, just like composing new music and stuff like that. And yeah, excited to get on the Pizza Cast to discuss some of this with you, my friend.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to have you on. We always have so many great conversations in the chats, but I think it's always better in person, hearing each
Oh
other's
yeah.
voices. No, I mean, we're not literally in person, but it feels like it when I can hear the soothing sound of your voice through my
Yeah,
headphones.
I mean, and we're both rocking those ATHM
Why would you
50s.
choose anything
Shout out
else
Audio
if you're on a
Technica,
budget? Oh yeah.
industry standard.
I should also say for our audience that you're not just simply the drummer for Hectic Temps. You also are a multi instrumentalist. Lots of the guitars are not all of the guitars are me. All the shitty guitars, all those are you, and all the good guitars are me. But you're on there. No,
I couldn't
you
have
can
put it better myself.
no.
And
And the cool thing
I,
is, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say one of the tracks I sent you selected. There's actually well, you'll see when we get there, but there's a little bit of temps in there, so to speak.
Okay, okay. I'm very curious. I'm on the edge of my seats. Well, but what are
Yeah.
we going to start talking about first? We got a lot of things. Do you want to go into? We'll
Yeah.
just continue on with the background. Maybe just start from the very beginning chronologically.
Yeah, so
Influences.
just to like, yeah, like as a broad strokes overview, so we've been talking in our chats about things like, well, okay, so what exactly, like there's that lawsuit that's been going on with Ed Sheeran and Marvin Gaye, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's also other famous ones with like, I don't know, Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, and let's see, Robin Thicke, Blurred Lines. I think that was also with the Marvin Gaye estate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I famously, or am notorious for uh, hearing something, or somebody shows me something, and like I I'm notorious for saying, "Oh, that reminds me of this," and
It's just
sometimes
like
it
it.
sounds nothing like it. Sometimes though, it's like, "Hey, that sounds literally exactly like this." And it's like, yeah, it's by design. It's like deliberately a nod towards this artist and wanting to do something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I wanted to talk with you, and I thought maybe it would be fun for the audience to maybe chime in, and sort of like I prepared a few examples of sort of like different degrees of how similar things sound, and like at what point does something become a cover versus, I don't even know what a remix is, like honestly, like I don't know what that technically means,
Yeah.
versus um a ripoff versus like copyright infringement versus just being like sort of influenced by them. And so yeah, we can kind of like take a trip down uh sort of recent memory lane and uh look at some tracks. and
Yeah.
their
You want
inspirations.
Yeah. Where do you want to start with all that?
So this is it's funny. So I actually kind of wanted to start with this bit from some movie soundtrack. It's like
Hmm.
a short clip, and it's a shame Mason isn't here with us today because I know he's very into musical scoring for cinema and that kind of thing. But yeah, if you go to that, so have you seen Top Gun Maverick?
Nah, I haven't.
Okay, and you
Is
haven't seen
you're talking about like Top Gun, or is this another like
no,
Top
it's like
Gun
the huge
sequel?
one from last year,
Oh
like the
shit,
Tom Cruise.
I'm so out of the loop. No, I haven't seen it.
All right. So, anyways, so but you know Hans Zimmer, right?
Hans Zimmer.
The
Bruh, you
like he
picked the
did.
wrong Pizzaghost host to have this guy.
No. You're perfect for it
Ah,
because it's
film
like
composer.
unadulterated ears.
Yeah.
So no, he's like the biggest. He's been on 60 Minutes. He did Inception, all those Christopher Nolan movies.
Oh yeah, so it's like one of those
He
guys
did
you've heard his
Bond.
stuff, you just don't know you have heard his stuff.
You've
Yeah.
definitely heard his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is to preface it, so I was watching Top Gun and like it's a very dramatic movie and it's powerful and all that and epic and just awesome. But there's a moment in it, I won't like give away too many plot details, but they're on a carrier. And it's not really an emotional scene, but I found myself feeling like very emotionally affected by it. And I was like, and it was like different than usual. And I was like, wait, yo, what's going on here?
Uh-huh.
And I realized, yo, it's because the music
The
for that
music was the
scene
culprit.
was like almost exactly the same as the music the same composer used for the final scene in the most recent Bond movie, which is
Ah.
very emotionally like cry Everton kind of material. And so
Ah.
like my brain like associated that chord progression or whatever with the feeling I had felt like with the 30 times I'd watched No Time to Die at the
Right.
end.
Right.
And so yeah, if you go to Top Gun Bonds Hans Zimmer .mp4, I sort of
Let's
like
see
screen
that.
cap a couple clips from it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you might
Let's
need a
let's
screen
let's
share.
boot that up. We'll have to screen share that.
Yeah. And it's the credits go to the composers, all that, and it's a screen recording from Spotify. So
Yeah, please. We don't want to be sued by any estates.
yeah,
All right.
so it's Top Gun. Yeah, there we go.
Got it.
So this is the scene in Top Gun. Captain Mitchell, you're where you belong. Tom Cruise rides the elevator up. So, and now this is from Bond.
Oh my god. Uh-huh.
And in Bond, like
Dude,
this
yeah.
scene is cry Everton because like it's like my whole childhood I'm seeing like, and I skipped ahead a little. So beautiful.
Right. Good thing
But
is no one can sue him for that because both were by him. So
yeah, so I guess I guess first of all, so you could that wasn't like what we would call a birdism. Like you can immediately hear the similarity between those two.
yeah, of course.
Okay. So yeah, so basically um my whole thing with it was so I was watching that and I was like this was right after around we wrapped up our last Hectic Temps project and I was sort of experimenting more with composition and stuff and it was also around the World Cup time, and so I wanted to make like as emotional of a track as possible to celebrate like Lionel Messi.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to cryevertiminstrumental.m4a, I did the lightweight files.
Homie,
We'll
these are
see.
not in chronological order. Oh, okay, we got
Oh,
it.
they're in reverse chronological order. But yeah.
Ah, okay.
Anyways,
There you go.
yeah. So
Ready.
this is let's see if am I going to jail? Am I getting sued? Uncut Messi, uncut Messi, go 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 go.
Woo. Yeah, dude. Yo, what instruments did you use? I mean, what software?
I'll tell you
Afterwards,
afterwards.
sure.
This is the track that actually has a little pimps in it.
The orchestra sounds nice. Very nice.
Argentina el campeón del mundo.
Dude, I feel like I'm like 2 hours into a movie right now.
But hold on.
Got him. That was great.
So
I
yeah,
enjoyed that very much.
for the viewers, the little uh background. So there's actually in our latest song, Pessimist. There's
Hashtag pessimist.
hashtag Pessimist, new canvas out on Spotify. Hectic
Check it
Temps.
out.
Yeah, there's a like it's in the background, but there's a little like lead guitar line in one of the verses, and it's sort of thrown in on top of a different chord progression at the end there. So it's a little nod to the Temps with some trap beats because it's fun.
Yeah, if you're gonna do a
But
nod, you gotta put the trap beats in there. So
exactly, you know,
gotta let them know.
juxtapose it with the but yeah, so that one was like almost blatantly like I wasn't trying to really make something original with that. I was trying to figure out like how those chords like why they work together that way. Because
Mhm.
if you hum the melody, it's really interesting because it's like the same note over and over again, but it's like the underlying structure changes. So it's like dun dun ja dun ja dun ja ja. It's
Mhm.
like the same two notes over and over, but it feels like a huge like movement. And I was like, "Yo, what's going on here?" So I went to the keyboard and was trying to like play around with it, and it was like, "Okay, let's just rip it off." Or I mean, you know what I mean.
Borrow it. Give it
But
back later.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
so you want to know my opinion on all of that, or do you have
like, oh
more
yeah,
you
yeah,
want
of course. Like, do those four chords like belong to Hans? Or I mean, in my
to?
mind they do, but no, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's like okay. I mean, first of all, just before like I answer that question, it's like one thing that I did notice, especially with stuff like this, where there are so few notes actually because they're so long. It's like kind of like long and ambient, like the total amount of like chords or like notes going on, especially during the first half. We'll just count the first half of the your
Mhm.
thing that you showed me. It's just like how can you possibly copyright that when there's only I mean No, and that also just becomes like a weird thing. If you were really to like take that to be like in a very like literal sense, it's like the people that came up with those copyrights immediately after like the concept of copywriting was established. If like everyone like during that period of time like hogged like all of the basic like patterns of 3 or 4 chords and like they are like lay claim to that, everyone else has to like pay money to their estates like into
Right.
centuries, like you could just end indefinitely until forever, like that's obviously ridiculous. And I think
Yeah.
that like there's it's not an easy question because like obviously when it comes down to it, music is just the relationships of like notes to another, and then if you have, it's just I don't know, there's like it's like technically infinite with because you have like the element of time, but you also, especially with things like chord progressions, it's like you're gonna recycle some. There's gonna be songs that like have the same chord progressions, and
Hmm.
it's just it seems very silly to me. I think the root of the problem is, in my opinion, like there would be in my ideal utopia, there would be no copyright, but like people wouldn't even care about it because we'd all be because there'd be no capitalism, man, and we'd just all be like receiving our like a pension from the government to like make bedroom music all day, and like
Right.
who,
I
who
mean,
gives a
well,
shit?
I think you mean from the AI overlord, but yeah.
Yeah, that's in
Uh,
control of the federal government.
right.
Yeah.
I would vote for it. But yeah, and so you mentioned like those chords, and it's not just the chords, like it's really the intervals, because you just take that and transpose it down like a half step or 3 half steps, because you can, and it sounds the exact same, but it's in a different key. Now, what
Oh yeah, the
about
key
that?
doesn't. I mean, the key is all that doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah,
It matters where
it's
you
the
start.
intervals that
Yeah,
count, you know?
yeah.
What at least now, I think back in the day, like before tempered tuning, it actually was different, but that I don't know about that. Um, so yeah, one thing I was gonna say is like, so that one, it's like deliberately, I was deliberately trying to make something Hans Zimmer-esque, but
Mhm.
because of the way those 4 chords are, and somebody who's maybe like really practiced at musical compositions and stuff, they could easily have accidentally made something that sounded
Right.
exactly like that without it being
And that
a
happens all the
direct
time.
nod. Yeah, yeah. And so
Like,
I
dude,
feel like that's where it really gets
even
complicated.
yeah, like even like this applies to other things too. Like even like in more like extreme examples, like outside of music, you have like didn't Newton and Leibniz both invent or discover calculus at the same exact time? It's like or,
Mhm.
whatever, close to the same exact time, and
That
like
there's
without having like correspondence with each other
Yeah.
directly. It's just like a thing. Like if like the combinations are out there and there's a reason why humans might be attracted to those combinations or patterns, then it just goes to reason. We don't have ownership of that, and it's I don't know. It's also the it's hard because we've been living in our modern society or just more largely like civilization in the past 6,000 years or whatever. But like even before that, like in some other cultures, there's not really the same exact like concept of ownership, and I think like for practical reasons, ownership doesn't really work in such a way. Like it's hard to say like you own something as or you should deserve credit for discovering something that's like really fundamental. And like maybe someone like discovered like gravity or something like that like in another culture like before Newton, and then that person died and like you just died out, you never know. Like it like doesn't really belong to anyone. And I'm personally like philosophically, I sort of view music more as discovery. So it might be more of like a romantic way to look at it, but I like to think it doesn't belong to anyone. It shouldn't. Artists should get paid, and they should get the paid for the work that they've done, and that's like the fundamental problem here when it does matter. Like obviously like someone like Ed Sheeran and like a lot of these like more famous artists, it's like it's hard to feel bad for them because it's like you already have enough, like you couldn't like it's even like get any bigger than where you are. But it is important, I mean, especially in other discussions like with the AI stuff, that artists are able to be compensated for their contributions. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's my take.
Yeah. I mean, like sort sort of at its core, I think I mostly agree. It's just at the same time, like it's it's almost like yes, but I also want like Hans Zimmer and or any example of this to like to get their clout. You know, it's like okay, so it's like Ed Sheeran. Yeah, obviously, he don't need the money, and Hans Zimmer doesn't need the clout. But if it was like a some indie film thing, and
Yeah.
it was like a person, and I deliberately like or anybody deliberately tried to like oh, that's so cool. Like, yo, I'm gonna make the exact same thing. I think really what it comes down to is like just like being honest about it. Like, I don't have any problem like with the idea of somebody ripping off something or like making something similar because they like it.
Hmm.
But I think it's kind of where it gets iffy is if they're like, what do you mean? I totally didn't do that. It's like,
Hmm.
no, I came up with that. It's like, I mean, and it's hard to like, you can easily accidentally write the same piece of music, or you could easily like premeditatively rip something off. And I think either of them are okay as long as it's like, you know, it's just uh, like say, try, like if I sent that to you and said, this is completely original. It's not influenced by Top Gun or Bond soundtracks. Then it would be like sort of scummy, you know. It's like, look at how brilliant that. Like, it's just, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, I also feel like I haven't watched those movies, but even like when I heard that, like I feel like I've definitely heard, and I want to say like not just from that specific composer, like that's like it's hard like what is the style of a specific artist versus like the style of like a genre more broadly. Like people we tend to
Yeah.
be okay with like okay, like yeah, you can like rip off the style of a genre. Of course, that's like what musicians do by and large, but like then if you want to get into like a specific artist, it's tricky. And yeah, and another thing is like it depends on the artists themselves that you're ripping off. Like
Hmm.
artists can like have a whole bunch of different opinions about like how they want their own music to be used by people. Like some people are like, yeah, you better fucking pay credits or like not use it at all. Like Grimes, for example, I don't know, you saw like she was saying that she is okay with people using the AI generator of her voice as long as she gets like 50% of the creds. Whereas like lots of other musicians, like I think like the Drake and Weekend, at least like the record companies are like taking like just a full like lawsuit, like legal action against like the I don't know if it's the person that used the generator or the generator itself, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's complicated.
it's just like a
It's just
spectrum, and then like everyone is in a different part of that spectrum. Like each person's in a different like part of that spectrum, and then each piece of music also like each the extent to like what something's borrowed also is. It's like very loosey goosey. There's like a little strict legal definition. Tough, very tough. I think, but
yeah.
what I'm hearing, but I don't know too much about these cases. But what I'm hearing is that like this, and we'll get into this in a future cast that we have planned with the whole round table of Pizza Boys. But I hear that the Ed Sheeran thing wasn't even like the chord progression is like the main focus point, but the chord progression isn't even like 100% similar. Like if it was like the same exact chords, I'd be like, okay, well maybe
Yeah.
chord progressions.
I'm
No,
not
I don't think chord progression like chords. No melodies, like hooks, vocal lines, like and like lyrics. If it's just like a straight up plagiarism, like yeah, and I think that's why like for something like maybe like pop music or rock or something that like follows like more conventional like verse chorus structure and there's a hook, that's easier to be like, oh yeah, ripping it off. But if it's something I don't know. It can different than that. It can get more difficult.
Yeah, okay. So like I'm not too familiar. Like I've read the articles, but I'm not too familiar with the songs, so I can't actually comment on it. But I did see there is an example of you know, Taylor Swift has a song called Shake It Off.
Yeah,
Shake
yeah,
it off, shake it off.
I know the
So
one. Yeah.
apparently someone tried to sue her for copyright infringement over the lyrics. And I was like, oh, so this should be like pretty open or shut. Um, they were complaining about the chorus that says
Shake It Off.
Players gonna play, 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 play. Haters gonna hate, 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 hate. I'm gonna like
Oh my
somebody
god,
wrote a
dude.
song like I don't know 10 years
Yeah,
ago
dude.
that said
Yeah, did
players
they?
gonna play, haters gonna hate. Yo, Taylor Swift, I want 50 milli.
Yeah, man. Like they totally coined those terms. Like,
Yeah,
and
it
maybe
was,
maybe like that someone or someone out there was the first person to like use those like in a song, whatever. But
but bro, it's like
and it's also like no. Yeah,
players gonna play, haters gonna hate.
that stuff is
Oh, if it
public
was like
domain.
I'm ostentatiously suspicious of this vicious fish and the triple switches with the flickers and the blah blah blah, the flickering lights. Yeah, if it was something like really specific and blah blah blah, and like not something that is comes up in day-to-day conversation
Yeah,
or
dude. That's
like
like, oh,
a
dude, like you're
cliche rap lyric. Players
right.
gonna play, haters gonna hate. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, you know? It's
Right,
like,
right. That's like being like, hey, like I was the, like my song uses like good morning, like in the chorus, or like something like really just
yeah,
that you fucking it's just like a phrase that you
yeah.
say every
Yeah,
day.
and that's kind of where it comes down to like the just like come on, just sort of like don't fool the world, man. It's like with that, I don't know about the Ed Sheeran thing because maybe that actually like is a legitimate thing. And I saw like they were hugging and stuff after, so maybe there was like a legitimate conversation to be had there. But other people are definitely just trying to get some money. But
Yeah, man. This is a topic I'm like not super well read on, but from what I've seen, just from like a bird's eye view, it does seem like lots of other like people that know more about it than me, it seems like to be like the case that several of these recent cases have like really just stepped it up in terms of like what is ownership or what crosses the line to the point where it's like
and
makes me a
it's
little bit
understandable when you
uncomfortable.
see like the sums being paid out for like catalogs of music like Led Zeppelin or the Beatles or Michael Jackson. It's like you see, oh, so and so like Sony Music Group paid $500 million for the rights to
Yeah.
so and so. So I can
Oh,
see
there's definitely
understand after
understandable
something like
economic
that, you can
incentive.
be a little bit tight about somebody not paying royalties or whatever. Because,
Yeah.
but that stuff, like honestly, it's like it's a fun conversation to have, but I I really don't.
It
I
also
don't know.
hasn't
I
been
think
like
it gets a little
too
silly sometimes.
yeah, yeah. I think like between the two of us, like when you like you said you were talking about birdisms, like how you're known to share stuff and like, oh, it sounds like really similar, and then like it's, fuck are you talking like which part is supposed to sound similar? I feel like like I usually don't say that something sounds similar or just like something unless it like really is like just off by
Yeah.
like a really small thing, because I think even just making small adjustments to music can really change the whole
Yeah.
vibe and like the context that's placed. So yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
and
sure.
that kind of leads us actually that perfectly leads us into the next thing. So yeah, that perfect that kind of you were talking about making how sometimes subtle or very big changes can totally change the way music sounds.
Hmm.
So yeah, we were talking about sort of background influences and uh musical histories, and so it's and other people we know. So like I in high school I spent like 3 years exclusively listening to Dream Theater, and it was just like I couldn't love Dream Theater enough. It just blew my mind, and I would always talk about
Yeah.
like send stuff, and I just couldn't understand how somebody could listen to like their songs and not think it's the greatest thing ever. Um,
Hmm.
so that I mean that's kind of just funny background. Um,
I remember though, and you also, after like going through like Dream Theater's whole discography and listening to them for like 3 years, there was like another band that you got into, and it just sounded exactly like Dream Theater. There was just like a Dream Theater, there's something vegetable maybe or something.
oh my,
You
yeah,
remember what I'm talking?
they're South American. Yeah, it's what is it, like bad salad, I think.
Bad Sally.
Yep, shouts
Yes,
out
something like
Bad
that.
Salad, if that's the name. Um, you guys have a track, I think it's called like um End of the Machine or Rage, like something like Dawn of the Machine. It sounds sort of like a Pink Floyd song, but or the title does, but the song itself is just like straight up Dream Theater. But it's really, really well done, and they're all really talented. And
Yeah, I
I
mean, I
used to
think they did.
listen to that
It's
too.
impressive to do really good, like just being like almost indistinguishable from Dream Theater because it's like it was like everything, like the vocal style, like the production, the keys, and it wasn't just like, oh yeah,
Oh, and
like
they like totally like they got big because they did band Dream Theater covers.
mhm.
And that's like probably the hardest band to
Right,
be
like you
able to do
can't
a full
just
band
find like a
cover of.
Dream Theater cover band like in your local like.
No, it's like you might get lucky and be able to find a Dream Theater. So honestly, the drummer is probably the easiest thing to find. Uh,
Yeah,
that but a bass player, good luck.
yeah,
First off, who can do like shredding tapping on a 6 string bass? A guitarist, like good luck. you know it's, so
yeah.
it's just really cool that they like did that, and then they also started composing their own songs.
Hmm.
And the keyboard is just honestly probably the most crazy out of all of them. Like he got into Juilliard at 8 and
And just
was
to be
like
clear, are you
a
talking about
class.
Bad
Jordan
Salad, or now we're talking
Rudess.
about Jordan? No, now we're talking about
Yeah,
Dream
no, like
Theater.
as
Okay.
far as who to be able to
Yeah.
find somebody who can play their parts,
Hmm.
like Jordan Rudess, as crazy as John Petrucci is, and he's like, arguably, I mean, there's all these debates on like guitar forums and stuff, but
Hmm.
John Petrucci is consistently up there as like the most technically sound and like crazy to play. But yeah, I'm
Right.
waxing poetic about Dream Theater, bro. I could do this all day still, even though I don't really listen to them anymore. Um, yeah, if
Yeah.
you go back to that shared folder, so this is sort of like round two of is it a rip or inspiration? If you want to click on DT Dance of Eternity, so this is a little
Ooh.
screen capture I took from it was live at Budokan, I think in maybe '04, and they had a song. So the section is from the song Dance of Eternity,
Yeah, I
and
remember that one.
but
I think I'm that one in particular was like one of the first like Dream Theater songs I listened to, and I was like, holy
it's sort of notorious
you don't hear
because
this shit on K Rock. This is
it has like 38 or actually probably more time signature changes, and it's like they for drummer auditions they included it, and it's famous. But so this is actually part of instrumentally where they took a lot of parts. You might want to drag the video so it's on the screen you're sharing.
oh no. I thought did I share the wrong monitor?
There
I
you
think
go.
I might have.
And play it from the top.
All right. Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, I love that. Like, I love that stuff, and I think that part is awesome. And so, I always wanted to try and like learn that part because, at least audibly, it sounds like one of, and it sounds crazy to say this, but that like, when you hear that, it sounds like one of the easier Dream Theater things that you might be able to learn because it's like
Yeah, I was actually
no
thinking it.
crazy fast alternate picking, no sweeps, no billion notes a minute, no um having a stroke. But every time I went to try and learn that on the guitar, because I'd hear that and be like, yo, maybe I could play that now. My pinky would die because it's like 5 fret intervals, pull, and it's just like, no, my finger's dead. And
Right.
but I learned of the grid and the magic of MIDI and stuff. I was like, wait, I can actually make music that does parts that I can't physically play.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. So I wanted to make a song that sort of had a nod towards Dream Theater. And if you play that radar flashing, this is the instrumental, and it's not finished or anything, but
Now is this for Los, or is the what project is this, or is this just
I mean
another,
it's just a
just a
track for
thing, just
yeah, because we can leave that other thing anonymous for now.
okay. Oh yeah, I didn't say the full name, so
Yeah, y'all good to no no yeah, it's radar flashing.
a radar flash.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see the similarities. Well, I just have to say, like, it's like the last line that like they played in the 30-second clip that we just listened to. It was just
Mhm.
like it almost just felt like a throwaway like line, doo-doo-doo-doo. But you know, it
Yeah.
was like it's like that exact line where like like they just casually like shat that out like in the
Oh,
transition.
and yeah, oh, and he just has to throw in like the 36 note sweep at the end, like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like all right, yeah, even if I could like break my finger and get through the arpeggios, thanks, John.
Yeah. Well, this is why I prefer listening to stuff like what you've created, because it's just like it's actually interesting intellectual dynamics instead of just public masturbation on stage. You got these different samples, genre bending, the violin, the orchestra. Okay, let's do it. Yeah. Ooh, I don't know if I heard this before. Nice. Back to the hook.
So yeah,
Awesome.
it's all like finished, and some parts are sort of sparse to leave room for like vocals.
Yeah.
But but yeah, so the main sort of string loop, the da 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 da, that was coming from rage, frustration of like my finger dying trying to play the Sean Petrucci part on the real
Hmm.
guitar. And I was like, hold up, I'm gonna pull up the grid and just or play it on a keyboard or something.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean that's like part of the shit that I'm actually excited about for AI, because it's like, man, you can overcome physical limitations. I mean, just yeah, it's a cool thing.
it's I mean it's a blessing and a curse because it's awesome because it opens up being able to do like stuff, like more and more things.
Yeah.
Uh, like I couldn't play that. But at the same time, I can see for people who've spent 30 years being able to like learn how to play something technically, like with how good MIDI instruments and stuff are able to mimic like real instruments. Like I mean, obviously that's not like a great mix or sound engineering or anything, but there are songs out there where, dude, I can't tell whether something was like played by an orchestra or played on a MIDI keyboard.
Yeah.
And it I can see how it could kind of suck for somebody who makes a living like playing violin studio sessions, like they're not getting called anymore because somebody's just plugging in their little $60 Alesis MIDI controller and having a free library of orchestral sounds that and oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, they can play it better than you because they're quantizing it, and it's perfectly on time, and every note is just perfect. It's like
Yeah.
I can see how it can be
I don't give
frustrating.
as much of a fuck as like as far as like the ego damage goes. I do feel for like if someone's a session musician, that's how they make their living and they take an economic hit from that. That obviously sucks. But like if you were just to erase that part of it, because I feel like it's the same thing sort of with just apply to like other things too. Like if like, and I guess you do see this. I was gonna say like nobody is that much of a as far as something like programming goes, like you have lower level languages, and I was going to say, you know, like usually if you're doing a high level, more higher level language, it's like just like no one is like going to give a shit that you haven't learned the ins and outs of a lower level language, but people still are like that and they do get egotistical about it. It's just kind of a thing with
I mean,
everything.
yeah, I mean, like everybody has their like I don't know, like CPU max clock rate, and for certain people you can do something, and for other people they look at that and it's like, oh my god, that's so crazy, like how do you do that? But
Yeah.
then for that person, they feel like that's normal, and they look at the next person and they're like, oh my god, I feel so incompetent, look at what that person can do. And then that
Yeah, it
person
just
looks at
goes
somebody,
on and
and
on
then
and on.
eventually they look at like John Petrucci, or like Terrence Tao, or uh yeah,
Yeah, but like
you know,
ultimately, man, I
just
don't know. It's
like there
that
are people who are, there's just so many levels. And
yeah. I mean, the reason that I don't care that much is because like that's not why I listen to music for. I don't listen to it like in the same way that I would like watch like a world like record like boxing like weightlifting champion or like physical like you're breaking like the limits of like a human can do physically. It's not because music. It's not really a physical. It's just like if it sounds good, it's good.
yeah,
I don't listen to it to be impressed by the physical capabilities of like the human that made it. I mean, maybe
yeah,
like
no,
the artistic side,
I
but
agree. It's just like some things are sound, but are both, like they both sound cool and are extremely
it
difficult
is
to play.
yeah,
And
it
they're
is
sort
true.
of like it's I mean, yeah, there's so many different avenues we could go with that. But yeah, actually, so the timing thing you mentioned, like subtly altering the timing, just because this is a music show, I thought it would be fun to like, so it sounds really similar to me at times, but the timing is actually like pretty different. So in the Dream Theater one, so it's like this, it's a similar idea where it's like a four note descending arpeggio, like mini arpeggio things, but with like a triplet spaced feel. So it's like in the Dream Theater one, it's like da 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 da. And I think that's like a really cool rhythm. So and then the one you actually just played, like the track I made with, it's actually da 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 da
Yeah,
da da
there's just
da
like more
da 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 da
staccato-y.
da da.
There's
So
the pauses are longer and it's
it
yeah.
yeah, it's like it's like I don't want to say from a mathy standpoint, but it's like
No.
theirs takes like I don't know, 8 bars to resolve or like line up again.
Uh-huh.
But the other one, it's like it does this little pause and then like two,
By the other one, do you mean yours?
six, yeah, six,
Yeah.
six in a row, and it resolves in half the time. I think is kind of how it works. So it's like da 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 da,
Mm-hmm.
and then it lines up with the downbeat of the drums again.
Mm-hmm.
And then the drums do the. I really like cheesy stuff where it's like we actually do it in a couple of our temp songs where it alternates between being like really straight, like da cha da 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 cha, da, da,
Yeah.
da. And then it like for the second half it goes, and then it like it goes like syncopates directly with the rhythm, so it goes da cha da 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 da
Uh-huh.
da
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I just like I think it's like kind of fun. And yeah, regarding musical influences, it's hard for me to say I'm very influenced by John Petrucci, even though I listened to Dream Theater for so long. But drums wise, you can definitely like I'm very influenced by the way he
Portnoy.
plays like accents and like just like
Yeah.
in all of our songs, there's some like da 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 da, like
Yeah.
the way he always accents things like slightly off time. It's
Yeah. And fitting them in places where like you wouldn't expect, but it sounds cool and it gives you a
yeah,
nice
yeah. I just
layer.
I sort of I'm a sucker for the shock, or not shock and awe, but like stuff that catches you off guard.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like
Off
transitions that
balance.
come out
Yeah.
of nowhere, or like, oh
Oh yeah.
whoa, boom. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, didn't see that one coming. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of funny. So you were actually probably the like I think you, yeah, probably were the only other person in our circle who kind of liked Dream Theater too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Guess that's
Because
true.
like because yeah,
You and me,
remember
man.
when like we first met, you were learning
Dude, I had like this
it's on systematic chaos,
yeah,
or
dude, I had
wait,
like the tab book that I had like ordered that had like, I don't remember if it was at like Glenn's Music, but it was like this big, thick tab book of like Dream Theater. I think there might have been like one
there was a
song
song
where
you
I learned
learned.
like one
You taught me
riff.
the riff. Yeah,
I don't remember.
it's
It's
a it's the
systematic,
single off
systematic
systematic chaos.
chaos.
Or
Yeah, that sounds right. That
yeah,
sounds
it's
right.
like ja, da, 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 da.
Shit, man,
It's
I kind of want to look this up because now I'm
yeah.
curious. It's been like
I believe it begins
over a
with a
decade since I've listened
T.
to it. Yeah,
Um,
if I yeah, you also search for it. Let's see who
no, I
wrote
mean
it.
I'll know it the second I say constant motion.
Okay,
Constant motion.
that sounds right. Uh huh.
100%.
Yeah, and this is the album. Can
Yeah,
I?
and you taught me how to play this riff. I mean, it was before I played the guitar, so I couldn't play it.
I
But
don't even remember. No, I remember knowing how to play Panic Attack on the bass, but I don't remember. I
dude, remember
believe
when
you. I
we were
remember
all
this
gonna
perfectly.
do a Panic Attack cover?
That would have been cool. I do. I still like to this day. I mean, Panic Attack is
I do.
a
I
great
still
song. I
think,
think.
dude, that's like probably my most proud technical achievement, like my
Oh
Panic
yeah, and you
Attack
were you
cover
fucking
on
knocking it
YouTube.
out of the park with the drums. Yeah, that was. I
Yeah,
think that was like. Was that? Would you say that was like the peak of your like your physical, uh, just how good you were at drums, your physical dexterity, and your well, definitely your endurance, right? Would you say?
I mean, well, I don't know how that really works, but
Obviously,
just like
I think
from a
you're a better
mechanical
musician
standpoint,
now,
I think
but
that's probably harder than like I can play things on. But actually, it's funny, man, because some things don't sound hard and they're really hard, and
it's true.
I don't know. That's
And some
just
things
it.
sound really hard, and they're actually not too bad.
Yeah, like a lot of tapping stuff or things
Yeah.
that involve like pulling on. And I mean, for some people that is harder than like alternate picking, but for me, like playing alternate picking stuff fast is, I think maybe just because like I started playing guitar at an older age than like drums,
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of like the technical ceiling is a little
A little
lower.
lower.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
All right. I'm
you
with
make
you.
do.
Let's I want to I'm definitely not listening to like the whole 12 minutes of this, but I just want to hear like because I think like the first it just goes right into it with the riff, I'm pretty sure. I just want to
Oh no, it is. It's right at the
figure that
beginning.
in my brain, remember how it goes.
But hear those accents?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that transition or the change that Portnoy made right there reminded me a lot of your stuff.
And they're just like cheesy Metallica style chugging.
Yeah.
Dude, that bass.
Yo, I still like I mean, I don't have a problem with like that the riffs and like the Metallica style playing like thrash playing like I think that's stuff, and I still listen to like lots of prog music that like has that same sort of like bendy, like windy, heavy like riffage to it. For me, it's like the excess of keyboard and guitar solos, and the singing is not my style.
Yeah. I was gonna say like you were my Dream Theater friend, but like it's funny because like there was a couple members of our group and we both liked Opeth too.
And
but
Mason,
there were a couple
of course,
members of our group who hated Dream Theater but loved like Opeth, and I just like couldn't wrap my brain around it. Well, you?
No, the other guy that's not here with us.
Oh, yeah.
I think there might only have been one of those because you said someone that hates Dream Theater but loves Opeth. And I'm like,
well, I think one of the members of White may have also. I can't really remember who. Like, I just remember.
If you're thinking about the members, so I'm thinking about that guy also hated.
For you. Oh, okay. Oh wait, yeah.
Blowpath, dude. You
Stay classic, Lady Killer. Yeah. Yeah, there was actually something I was gonna have you pull up on that album. The guitar solo of Forsaken is so short, but it's so beautiful. Beautimous, I should say. Is there a go to out? Yeah. Can you skip to like 3.5 minutes of Forsaken?
Yeah.
It's been a while. I just really want to. It's like I would say like 3/4 or like 2/3 of the way into the song. Like, keep going. Yeah. Wait, go back up a little bit. Yeah.
I
back it up
think
like
we just heard it
seconds.
start.
Yeah, back. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I've always loved that guitar solo. It's like so short and sweet, or it's so short and like relatively simple compared to other solos.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Yeah,
are you sure you didn't just love it because it's the only one that you could play?
I can't play that. Are you kidding? I can play maybe the first note. That dude, he hits that crazy sweep like 2 seconds in.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Like I
wish I could
like,
sweep pick. I've tried to like learn sweep picking a couple times, and I can't do it.
Yeah, dude, me too. It's like one of those weird things where it never I never got good enough at it to say that like I could do it. And it's just like
it's weird though. It's because it's like I think some people just get it because it's like it's all about like this muting technique with the thumb, and so some people like can sweep pick, but like struggle with things that would like you or me might find easy.
Yeah,
but it's just funny how like certain like pulling on and pulling off, like I always found that to be like something that didn't take as long for me to learn.
Right.
Like
Same.
alternate picking or stuff like sort of like snow was something like that song is so hard, like impossible to play at full speed for
Uh,
6 minutes while singing.
mhm.
But playing that slowly, it isn't that difficult, but I could see how it could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Da,
Yeah. I
da,
mean,
da, da,
ultimately
da,
for me,
da, da.
like these days, I mean, I think it's the same case like with you. Like most of this, oh, you just mentioned an example where this isn't the case, but I was gonna say like these days, I mean, I remember when I first started playing, a lot of it was about like the first few years, it's like what can I do? Like how good can I play? How fast can I play? How like can I sweep pick? Can I fucking uh fucking really just shred?
Alternate bit, yeah, the John
Yeah.
Petrucci kill yourself videos. All right, we're gonna turn this up to 200 BPMs now.
But you can't play this. And
Yeah,
like not with
exactly.
Mike's like with, but that was like before I actually started like recording or making like any music. And now that like I'm making music, I've never like had a situation where it's like, I have this idea, but I just don't have like the physical know-how to see it through. And it's not like it's not really that like I'm not even like that good of a player. It's more of to do with just like what the music I do requires. So it's just now it's
Yeah,
just like,
no, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It's like what you're saying about your first few years of guitar. That's like how my first few years of drumming was,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, okay, how like can I turn the BPMs up to 170 and still play 16th note double bass? It's like
Yeah.
that, like seriously, like that was stuff that I would do. I would like, can I play Beast in the Heartlet? Like, you know,
That's dope. Nail it, double bass.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
But
it's
by the
cool
time I
though. Like,
started
it's like,
guitar,
yeah,
or yeah, it was like I was into the Chili Peppers, and so it was the
yeah,
opposite.
yeah. It's good. I think it's like good training wheels. Like a good just if you want to get like really technically good fast, which is like a hindrance to like people when they first start out. Like it's good. Like you check that off. Like you can move your fingers fast, and you've basically got all you need to play like 90% of songs, with exclusion of like heavy metal or more complicated
But then
stuff.
the whole field thing comes in, and that's the
That's
flip
when you
side of the
gotta
coin.
develop your own style, I feel like.
And what like the last thing I was going to share with you is uh it actually touches on that because it's so simple, but it's so difficult to play just because of like the feel of the person who plays like that's this style.
Is
Nile
it
Rodgers, shout out.
okay?
But
I see it.
uh
Oh, you
yeah,
got it right now.
it's tough because or I was just gonna touch on it's not just like I don't only want to give the clout to the prog metal players out there because it's also like I did maybe yeah like a year of jazz band in high school,
Yeah,
and that's like
jazz is another one.
it's a completely different kind of technicality,
Mm-hmm.
but it's I don't know, it's just so hard because it's like the opposite of 16th note double bass, like blast beat snare, like
Yeah,
stuff. It's like, can you play like this like really soft touch thing and not get in the way of the band and listen at the same time? It's like coming from because we were in white at the time playing like metal,
yeah.
coming from that to jazz band, it was like a really like I struggled just doing for like,
So
and
different.
then meanwhile the other guy, there's a foreign exchange drummer who was just like classically trained drummer, cool guy, and just like crushes like just, oh
Just
hey, can you
right
play this,
on.
can you play bossa nova, yeah sure. It's like yeah
That
he's
wasn't
like,
Sylvan, was it?
oh
Or
yeah
was it?
yeah
It was.
yeah.
Nice, nice.
Oh
Yeah.
dude, I was like I was not I we had two drummers in the band and I was the third stringer.
It's all
But
right. I was the last chair violinist in orchestra.
always forgot that you played violin. That's
Yeah, I mean, if you would have listened to the first cast episode with Mason and I, we did delve into that a bit earlier on.
I did listen to it. I must have
Maybe you
missed
were
that
just
part.
too
Maybe I
faded,
was,
bro.
or maybe I was too seeing red over the shade cast at Dream Theater.
Yeah, it was like right after that. You,
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, why don't you
yeah, should I play this?
or do you want to refresh the meeting and then we'll round it out?
I don't know. We got 8 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Got enough time with
So
this one.
if you want to play, so I recently Daft Punk released some studio sessions from Random Access Memories
Oh
for the
yeah.
10-year anniversary,
Uh-huh.
and it's like full orchestras of like some of my favorite songs. And I have to say, like probably after John Frusciante, Nile Rodgers is like the second most influential guitarist, because it was those were the two things like the year I started learning guitar. It was like Daft Punk and Chili Peppers, and so
So Nile Rodgers played on Random Access Memories.
oh, he played all over it.
What?
But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like it's the one, and like Get Lucky. You know that like
mm-hmm.
the classic. It's like
And
instantly like reckon you instantly think of like the way he's playing guitar and that.
yeah, and he Lose Yourself to Dance, I
Hmm.
think,
Yeah, yeah.
and this song, and so yeah, he's the
What else
like
has
so
he
his
done?
guitar is called the hit maker because it's he's recorded over $1 billion worth of music on his single white Strat, like,
Uh-huh.
and he just has like the coolest style, but it's not complicated. It's just the feel. It's like it's just like the lightest touch with his fingers. It's
Yeah, it just seems like one of those
I
like
love Nile
musicians that just
Rodgers,
has
man.
like a inhuman like rhythm where it's so like 100% perfect and it sounds like they're not even trying, you know.
Yeah, it's because it's like yeah.
Whereas like
I
with
mean,
me, I'm
he
just
just because he did an interview and he even said like he considers himself to be a session musician. Like he told Daft Punk, don't send me demos. I just want to listen to it and I'll be able to come up with something catchy. It's because that like that's
Mhm.
his whole thing. It's not like he can just it's sort of like a jazz musician almost. Like,
Mhm. All right,
but
should we
yeah,
check it out?
yeah. So the MP4s of uh Give the Light Back to Music.
Yeah, I've got that. I don't know if you
Yeah,
can
or
turn on
you
the
might
right.
want to full screen the doc or not.
Hmm. Yo, wait. So there's also like another guitar going on during that. Is that him too?
Oh yeah, well, I think it's two tracks. So one of them he's
Yeah,
doing is like funky
the
chords,
more
and then the other he's
funky
doing da da
strumming.
da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, and those two parts too just overlaid each other
Oh yeah,
so nicely.
it's like top 5 album of all time, man.
No, I mean, me too. And like I don't know, we listen to like different music like especially like nowadays, but yeah, when I think of like top 5 albums of all time, it's definitely
I
still
mean,
up there
it's
for me,
just
dude. It's
yeah,
like every
it's
song
like, and
sounds
it's so
different, every song's catchy.
universal.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I know a single person who, or I mean, I don't even know if you can be a person and listen to that and say that there's not something that you like about it.
Yeah.
Like
No
if you
human
think
at
about
least.
all, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I heard yeah, I wanted to do a and so this is going back to a rip. Is it a rip? Is it a cover? Is it a new song?
A tribute.
Let's find out because yeah, so it's Frick Off instrumental.
Okay.
Oh, you might need to refresh it or download it.
We got it. Man, you and Mason both with those strings, dude, with the wild orchestral sweeps,
Dude,
really nailing it.
strings are clutch, man.
Yeah, and sounding like so good like nowadays. Like I don't know. I remember like I haven't like tried to do string stuff for like a few years with like my plugins, but I remember like back like 5 years ago, it just wasn't the same. But like this shit is just like, yeah,
Yeah, it's
nearly there.
I think it's like libraries or recording equipment or just the software to be able to get um what was that thing they used to do for sampling? It's like Mellotron maybe. It's like how they would literally take a tape recording of somebody playing a note like a cello, and then
Hmm.
when you press the key on it, it would play the recording of somebody playing that note.
Yeah.
And it's like in the MIDI libraries, they've had like it's like they have recordings of the cellist playing long bows, short bows,
Hmm.
like a staccato, like plucking, and you
Hmm.
just have so many options. It's but yeah, so I wanted to get your thoughts on that because it's like so the guitar it's almost the same like it's almost if it was just the guitar like for 20 seconds of it, I would call it a cover.
Is it using the
But
same chords?
yeah,
Is it okay?
but the pattern's different, and also because it's not like two tracks like where it's the chords and the uh fill thing like the da, 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 da. It's like sort of comboed and it's slightly different, but I
Man,
would
I
call it a guitar cover if it was just the guitar. I
yeah,
don't
maybe
know
it's
if
because
it's a
I'm not
remake.
hearing it with just the guitar, but I just feel like, God, man, that's like a long way away from a cover. I mean, I think
Oh yeah,
there's
no,
a
the
difference between
song couldn't
like
be
the
called.
same ripping off a song and ripping off a style. Ripping off a style, and that's what people do a lot of the time. But
Well,
yeah,
let me ask you this. If you rip off one thing, it's a rip off. If you rip off five different things and combine it into one track,
from the same
is it a
person,
whole new thing?
from the same artist. I was gonna say if you're ripping off things, but each thing you're ripping off is from a separate artist, then now you've got a songwriter, a new song. No, I mean
Yeah,
I don't
it's
always I don't really
I mean,
think like
it
that,
was
but
more of a tongue-in-cheek kind of question. It's like if you rip off one thing, it's a rip off. But if you rip off like five different things and overlay them, it's like Anthony Bourdain in it's a movie, The Big Short, talking about how you turn 3 day halibut into a whole new seafood stew.
yeah, man, just the difference of how much the quantity and just the placement and the context. Fuck, man.
I have
It's think of
to
it.
get going like fairly soon, but I
I
just
think
remembered
mhm.
something. It would it would maybe like there's so many things we could talk about, but we can always do another cast. There's
Of course.
something I think would be great to close it on.
Yeah.
So everybody know that like my favorite person of all time, especially like musically, is John Frusciante.
Mm-hmm.
And so he actually did a show in like 2001 in Amsterdam. Like it was like probably they were touring and he just wanted to do like a bar open mic gig or something. And there's a section of it where he plays like the crowd asked him to play Under the Bridge and he starts playing it and then explains exactly all of, like where he ripped off all the parts or like the little things from. And it's especially fun because it's like obviously not a rip off,
Yeah.
but it's yeah, let's if you want to skip to like maybe 41 minutes on this
Okay.
and share the screen.
Up, screen share. Open
Oh,
up.
wrong screen. Oh, there you go.
I get.
You might, can you make it bigger?
Yeah. Hold on.
Sorry.
One moment. You said, oh,
Like
are we? I think
4130
we're already.
or yeah, like go to
It's so weird that it was already on
4130.
there. 41:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not getting any audio.
Uh-huh.
Wait, Is it not working? Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, it's not coming through on the
Oh
Zoom.
dear. Let's try
Uh,
that again. We'll just
let's see.
fix this in post. Maybe I forgot to.
I mean, I let's see if I have a screen recording of it. I can maybe get to the drive in time, but maybe. Oh, there we go.
You heard that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's try again.
Sweet.
You asked for the intro to Under the Bridge. You'd say, you don't see that?
Oh wait, go back like 20 seconds because I'm remembering now. It's like it's hilarious. All right, this is.
I'm not loving this.
Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I love them so much, man.
And honestly say, I don't know any Hendrix songs. No, I can't put my.
It's funny because he famously learned all of Hendrix songs when he was like 12.
An hour?
Yeah.
45. Can I put what? God, you're not really with it, are you? Who said that? Who said that? You're not that hip, are you? You asked for the intro to Under the Bridge. You'd say, you don't seem that hip. I'm just kidding. Doesn't feel the same, does it? You know what? It's a ripoff of Andy Warhol by David Bowie. You know. I didn't plan on doing that. And then there's another part in Under the Bridge that's it's a ripoff of T-Rex, and it's that's David Bowie was the intro. Is what is a ripoff of you know how it goes.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point it goes. Well, at that point, that's a ripoff of T-Rex. It's a major 7 chord, and here's the T-Rex song. It goes. It's a ripoff. It's a ripoff. Yeah, I ripped off the song called Rip Off, so I thought that was interesting, you know?
Does he ever actually play
Can I
it?
please do one of my own songs? Thank you.
I don't know.
We're not gonna listen to it.
You
I'd rather
pause it, yeah, you can. If you actually if you want to close it with the final thing I sent you, it's so there's a funny story behind this song. It was like sort of like the first solo song, and one of our friends so the goal was to write sort of a chili pepper style riff, and it didn't sound anything like the way it does now, but it was trying to play something like the By the Way B-sides, and it turned into like a ripoff of like the Black Panther soundtrack. But shout out to Ludwig Göransson, but that's a whole nother conversation. If you want to close it up, playing it's called RHCP underscore Ludpep dot MP4. Yeah, there's a clip of yeah, you'll see.
All right.
Deep inside these
Yeah, man. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, no, when I first was hearing like the first few seconds of that, I wasn't really paying attention to like what was showing, because I didn't know. I thought that that might have been like your track that was playing first. So
No, so it's funny. It actually sounds more similar now after I added the trap beat, because I had to pitch the guitar down like 3 half steps, and I pitched the hi-hats and the bass track up to sort of sync up, and there's this cool like multi-pass filter going on to give it that sort of like it's like sort of like swishy sound, like but to get it to sync up, yeah. So it like the guitar is actually I think it's in a E flat, like E flat minor major. It's played in F sharp, but it sounds kind of cool pitched down. So I just wanted to shout out John Frusciante, because obviously.
yeah, wait, I will listen to that again real quick. I don't know, man. I feel like but at the same time, like I can immediately tell when it diverges, and maybe it's because I'm more used to like listening to your song. When you have like an earworm, like it gets stuck there, right? Like that's the whole point of it. So like that's what you're expecting, and like when Frusciante during that acoustic gig was talking about like this came from like David Bowie and like T-Rex and all this stuff, like yeah, but you know what, like I like Under the Bridge better, honestly, and I like
Well,
your
yeah, and
riff
they're
better,
like
but
they're
maybe
not
it's
really
because I'm like,
ripoffs.
yeah, right, of course, especially like
Like,
his stuff that he was just saying like, and
when I say
I
ripoff,
don't
I
know.
mean it more in tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
when
well,
I say
but I think
something's a rip, it's a
he was also
compliment.
meaning that in
Yeah,
tongue in
yeah,
cheek.
no, yeah,
And it's like,
because there's
yeah, I
nothing really
mean, you
similar about the
might,
two riffs, except that it
uh-huh.
uses the open string, so it's like done, open, da da da, open. But like
I mean, but
other
I
than
feel
that,
like,
it's
you know, there were a few different notes which
oh yeah,
changes the
no, like
vibe,
all the
and
notes are, yeah, it's like way darker, and it's not, yeah, it's like meant to sort of
yeah,
sound like the Killmonger theme.
yeah,
But
yeah. Um, what else
yeah,
was going to
so
go?
that's sort of my like take on what we were talking about at the beginning. It's like, yeah, some things are rips, some things aren't rips, but I think the funnest thing to do is to just like go full send, like let's show exactly where all the rips came from, because I don't know, I
Yeah,
think it's
at some
complementary to
point,
the musicians too.
right, and I really like the intimacy of Frusciante, like showing the crowd all that stuff. It felt like you were just like in his bedroom, like he's grabbing the acoustic guitar. It's like, oh yeah, like this is like, you know, like it'd be fun to do an episode or at some point like go through like some of the stuff like we've worked on with hectic temps, and like go
Yeah,
through some, because I mean there was like one day in the chats where I'm like, oh yeah, like hey, check out this like Sesame Street song that like inspired like the first line of the My Petrius solo, and like all
right,
this
yeah,
shit,
that
and it's just like
blew my
it's,
mind.
yeah, it's funny,
And like
and
there's
like
a
my
fill
mind, like
from a
that's always,
Kanye
yeah,
song and like
uh-huh,
Terra, like cha 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 from
yeah,
FML. Yeah, that would be really fun. We should definitely do that.
yeah. And it's just
And
like
shout out to
fascinating because
whoever
like you never
posted
know
that
like where it
YouTube
comes
video,
from.
by the way.
Yeah.
Just to give the credit. It's that's that font right there. I did.
iMovie.
Don't put that on me, man. Is that even centered? But no,
Red Hot
it's a
Chili
B-side,
Peppers.
so it's like it's like it's kind of a deep cut. But
Yeah. Was that the last
yeah,
video?
yeah, that we covered it all, man.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so I really appreciate having the opportunity to come on the Pizza Cast and talk about music.
There's
Some of
no
the
opportunity.
bros.
It's an entitlement. There's no appreciation needed. You are entitled to just hop on the cast whenever.
And
It was
yeah,
cool
it'd
to
be
do a
fun to
different type of
definitely
episode.
yeah, it's yeah, I'm excited to see uh if other people enjoy this kind of thing. Like I personally like I always love going on like YouTube deep dives of some of my favorite artists and sort of when they go behind the scenes and show like kind of like the Frusciante vid, but like higher production quality. Like they show exactly who they were influenced by or what they were going for with something.
Yeah.
I really like watching that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully other people sort of enjoy this and maybe we can get some of their takes on where exactly the line is between stealing something and sort of just being influenced or inspired by it. I'd be curious to hear everybody's thoughts on that.
Yeah, man. Well, I think we have another Pizzaghost member that is preparing some stuff for a future cast, specifically with the Ed Sheeran case, doing a lot of research and is going to come with a briefcase full of information to share with us. Hopefully, we can get a roundtable going on with more than three, I think with 4 or 5 pizza boys. I think that would be cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was fun, man.
that would be epic. There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff we can talk about doing that we don't need to do it like
Right now,
in front of the live
in front of our audience.
Yeah.
Speaking of audience,
we should get breathalyzers and do a round table or something. Like, hold it up. No, that's a total joke, but I do think that would make for hilarious content. Like some chess streamers, they like started streaming with a heart rate monitor.
Oh yeah.
So you can see
Oh my god, dude.
like during blitz games, it's like 160 BPMs. I think it would be hilarious to see a debate with like every 20 while drinking, like every 20 minutes you show the breathalyzer readout. Like, oh man, he's coming in hot with the 0.12.
Oh my god, dude, that heart rate thing, that seems dangerous. I would like totally get sucked into like a negative feedback. Like you have like I don't know if I've never watched one of those, but like if they're also like reading like the audience chat and like the audience is coming like, huh, he like up like 10. Like,
that's diabolical. Let's see if we can give him a heart attack, guys.
Yeah. All right, audience. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
Much
Bert,
love.
drummer of Hectic Temps, multi-instrumentalist, mathematician.
Oh boy.
Renaissance man, overall brilliant fella, and we will be having more of him on the cast. Until next time. All right.